Future's coming. Something's coming. Future's coming. Something's coming. It's coming. Something's coming. Future's coming. Something's coming. We don't want it. Yes, we do. We don't want it. Yes, we do. We don't need it. Yes, we do. We don't need it. Yes, we do. We don't need it. Yes, we do. We don't want it. And we need it. We don't want it. And we need it. We don't want it. And we need it. It's coming. Something's coming. And we need it. Something's coming. And we want it. Something's coming. Got to have it. Something's coming. Railway's coming. Something's coming. Railway's coming. Something's coming. Railway's coming.
Its mouth is behind its head and it eats black rocks. It makes a furious hissing and bellowing. It's so wild and angry. Well, they say it's been tamed so it'll keep onto its iron road. But who says it'll stay there?
And have you heard about the railway madness? Perfectly respectable gentlemen, never but they were most polite and genteel. Upon boarding a railway train and travelling just a brief part of their journey, are transformed into the most horrible beasts, swearing and threatening the other passengers. It is the rocking and the jostling of the carriages that affects the brain, so they say. And no wonder, nothing so unnatural.
And what about the railway spine that everybody's talking about?
Oh, get off, get off. Get off. Never mind about all that nonsense. Is this thing on yet? Is it? No. All right, then we'll just have to put up with this shouting again. Anyway, never mind about what they said. That's a lot of nonsense. Forget all that. Time was when this was a good fishing village, and you get dozens of ships sailing up the Dovey, picking up their cargoes of slate and lead ore, and then coming back with their cargoes going here, there and everywhere. Those days are gone now, though. I tell you they're gone. And where are they now, all those beautiful sloops, those elegant sailing vessels? Gone, all gone. And where? And all gone. Gone. But I tell you where three of them are. Three wrecked and drowned and broken vessels. You'll find them at low tide at the head of the Lerry, sticking their ribs, blackened ribs, out of the silt, like the drowned, like the corpses of the drowned. And all because of the coming of that railway.
Yes. You people of Borth don't seem to understand the importance of this railway. We in Aberystwyth are already pleased to welcome many visitors. Think how many more will come when this railway arrives. You could have a little gold mine here in Borth. You can't stand in the way of progress, you know.
Aberystwyth is the Brighton of Wales.
You ought to embrace the railway. Yeah. Why, only the other day, I went on one of those Temperance Railway outings. It was the most delightful journey to Oswestry. We had a hamper and we sang hymns. It was most civilised and very pleasant indeed.
Hampers? Singing? You lot over there, you just don't understand. Do you? Borth is a very proud seafaring village. Just think of all the master mariners that have come here, although came from here, and came here when they retired, and built houses, named after places from far-flung corners of the world. Well, what do you think will happen to those cargoes now that the railway is here now, eh? Well, they won't be carrying them. What need will there be for the lime kilns on the beach? And what need for the tall ships of these shores, which will be left to rot at their moorings?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're correspondent to the Merioneth Herald Letter Service. Here to report the arrival of the railway. On the arriving at Borth, we are struck with the absence of any demonstration on the part of the villagers in celebration of such an auspicious event. Not an arch, not a flag, nor nothing else was visible. We certainly thought that Brian of Borth would not be so far backward in showing their appreciation of this great event. The only exception was that of Captain John Jones, of Anne Jones, who certainly he decorated his house with his little flag. The visitors who had arrived just ahead of the completion of the railway, and they sought accommodation in the village of Borth, but without success. So finding no room at the inn, so to speak, they were forced to make the best of it in a contractor's railway wagon that stood on the siding on the unfinished line. And they settled down for the night. Oh, they settled down, settled up. Oh, I don't know what went on there, you know, but that's where they put the tarpaulin sheet over it properly.
Out the way.
Anyway, someone, some local Borth humorist no doubt, gave the wagon a shove, and it started down an incline on the unbalanced incline all the way toward its last. But miles away from anywhere, without even the least hope of breakfast. Of all the places in the kingdom, we venture to say that Borth, a few years ago, was the least likely place where a railway would be considered. Not only feasible, but possible. Surrounded as it is on all sides by bog and boggy lands, it might be thought that, laying aside the poverty of the place, the difficulty and expense of constructing a line along that bog for so many miles would deter any company from hazarding. We are glad, however, to state that the project has been accomplished through the energy and determination of the Welsh Coast Company and in the personage of Mr. Thomas Savin, railway engineer, contractor and investor.
Good people of Borth and of Aberystwyth, today we celebrate the completion of the next stage of the Aberystwyth and Welsh Coast Railway line. It means that a journey to Machynlleth, which might before have taken you more than half a day, can now be accomplished by rail in less than half an hour. Many of you here will experience this exciting new form of travel for the first time today, for from this day, this small village on Cardigan Bay is connected not just with Machynlleth and Newtown, with Welshpool and Oswestry, but with the rest of Britain. Now, there can be no disagreement that the steam engine has changed our world, and I'm sure you must agree, changed it for the better. Our future lies in the railway, and your village, and very soon the neighbouring town of Aberystwyth, is set to profit in so many ways from the railway's arrival in your midst. This village is a natural watering place, wonderfully situated to blossom as a consequence of the new vogue for visiting the seaside. Borth has so much to offer to those who come here by rail. Over 5 miles of firm, resplendent sands, fresh, invigorating air, and safe sea bathing. Borth will undoubtedly become one of the most attractive destinations in West Wales for the holidaying visitor. Now, it is my intention to build a great hotel, which is just coming, slowly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my intention to build a great hotel upon the seafront here. A hotel built in the Italianate style of 4 stories, with over 100 rooms that will attract visitors from the length and breadth of Britain.
A great white elephant, you mean?
Moreover, I intend to construct a row of the finest brick houses for those families wishing to bring their servants and friends.
Well, that's grand for those visitors then. What's the point to these visitors?
In addition, my company will provide a new clean water supply, piped directly to the station, the hotel, and the terrace. And as a gesture of goodwill, a standpipe may be provided where residents of the village can obtain fresh water.
Cheap! What a cheap! You mean we get our fill after those steam engines? Get their fill? What a cheap!
And all have to be pulled down.
Well, any great project that is to succeed, any human endeavour must of course encounter its reversals. The abiding lesson is this, that enterprise must learn from its mistakes. And as you see, Cambrian Terrace prospers still.
But where's your Cambrian Hotel, Mr. Savin?
Didn't you go bust in 1866, Mr. Savin?
No, that's unfair. The Cambrian Hotel, the Grand Hotel, Pant of Edwin, now you've got to admit that was a savage success.
The Cambrian Hotel is a large and handsome edifice close upon the beach facing Cardigan Bay. It is appointed with the usual auxiliary comforts for tourists and travellers. There is provision for outdoor amusements of all kinds, including an esplanade that borders the beach for the exclusive use of residents.
Oh, the Cambrian Hotel! Such a lovely esplanade. The sea air was so restorative. And the bathing machines. Well, really. And the Borth boatmen. Such fellows they were.
Oh yes, dear, they were.
I remember our party travelled by the new railway.
We did.
And the servants came by coach.
We did.
I danced until dawn in the ballroom. And we watched the sunrise over the ocean, sipping champagne.
I rather doubt that. And as splendidly appointed as the Cambrian Hotel was, it was lacking one essential ingredient.
And what, pray, was that?
Guess, my dear. Guess.
Ladies, the Reverend Thring, headmaster of Uppingham School in Rutland, and delighted to be back in Borth again. Thank you. While the low number of guests at the Cambria may have been of considerable concern to Mr. Savin and the railway company, it was, for the trustees of Uppingham School, an enormous slice of good fortune. In 1876, the school was suffering from the ravages of typhus, the result of insanitary drainage in the town. The word epidemic was used, and we feared that by closing the school, we might damage its reputation irrecoverably. Thus, tenacious per aspera, we set out to seek alternative accommodation for all 300 boys, masters, and their families. We settled on the Cambrian Hotel here on the Cardigan coast, the hotel then being at a low ebb in its fortunes. And thanks to the proximity of the railway, we were able to transport all of the school and its paraphernalia here to Borth.
Well, what I remember with those Uppingham boys is this, the great flood of 1877. The water ran down this road like a real river, and stones everywhere you looked. And most of the beach was in the village, and Borth and Anislash were up in Taliesin. But the next day, those boys came and they helped and fetched and carried and put it all back to rights again. That's what I remember.
Indeed, madam, I remember that well. At the time I had lodgings at the cottage of Velwyn, and the morning after the storm, I stepped out of my bedroom, which was on the first floor, onto the many stones that were set up beneath, and thereby made my way onto the street. Yes, close bonds were forged with the villages that endure still, and it was not without regret that we left our sometime home. Now, I would like to take this opportunity
Excuse me, I don't know about any school boys, but surely you're referring to the Borth hydropathic.
Well,
Did wonders for my rheumatics. Those hot seawater baths, they reach those most obstinate parts.
Very nearly cured my husband's gout
Yes, you're right. The Cambrian Hotel, sold in 1896 to the Cardigan Bay Hydropathic and Hotel Company, madam.
Russian and hot sea baths, cold and cooling baths, physician in attendance, qualified staff, ample opportunities for social promenading and healthy exercise, croquet, bowling, lawn tennis, and nearby golf links.
In 1902, to lay défi to Saint-Esprit, the white nuns of Brittany.
Mesdames, Messieurs, chers amis, well, you see, you must excuse my English, first of all. It was comme ça, when the ungodly state, the Republican gouvernement of France, when that hateful Troisième République, they closed our schools. And we buy the Cambrian Hotel so that we can move our main residences here. We hope to bring maybe 300 of our ladies, our female students. But we do not come. Our supporters triumph in France, and we can stay. But it would have been most accommodating your hotel, and both.
1914, to Mr. McCausland, formerly hotel proprietor in Northern Ireland.
A.J. Hughes, solicitor, Aberystwyth. I speak on behalf of Mr. McCausland, who wishes to submit an application for a permit to change part of the Cambrian Hotel to a cinema. We all know the good people of Borth have very little to interest themselves in, except the next storm. And no wonder, after they finish dealing with that storm and the inroads of the sea, they're preparing for another.
Well, I am the Reverend Morgan, and I believe it's the council's solemn duty to oppose these cinema licences. There's a war on, and we are continually asked to perform, to exercise.
Quite right, quite right.
I do not believe the cinema will add to the welfare of both.
Yeah.
I disagree with you, Reverend, and propose that we accept the application. In my experience, these cinemas have encouraged men to leave the public houses, not to go to them. Besides, all the people of Borth ask for is a little entertainment. Yeah. We cannot be narrow-minded in these matters. Right. I am as against the drink traffic as anyone else, and the building is outside the licensed premises.
Well, should we put it to a vote then, Councillor?
Not yet, Reverend. Why, Mr. Williams, you surprise me. A magistrate speaking in favour of the cinema. I am the Reverend Arthur Thomas of Sanderson, and I believe that these cinemas have a thoroughly noxious influence. Why only typical politicians of it? Why only last week in the local paper 2 boys were summoned in front of Aberystwyth magistrates, and their parents were heard to say their downfall was entirely due to the visits to the cinema.
Why, that was a means of shielding the boys. This has nothing to do with the cinema licence.
Well, shall we put it to a vote then, Councillor?
Yes.
Yes. Very well. All those in favour?
Yes!
And all those against? Carried by 24 votes to 21.
Absolutely outrageous!
Progress.
Reopened in 1921, this time as the Grand Hotel.
Well, who bought it this time?
Or the Hotel and Land Development Company Limited of London. But don't worry, because
it was sold again!
It was, and taken over by Private School Aberystwyth, the local university, to house the prospective Lady Librarians of Wales. And then, during the Second World War, the young ladies of Chelsea College of Physical Education were evacuated here.
Yes, you'll have to check the rota every day. You see, we have a daily timetable, not a weekly one. The timetable, it changes from day to day because of the tides. You see, the beach, it's It's our games pitch. Hockey, lacrosse, rounders, cricket. It only takes 2 minutes to draw it out on the sand and then it all gets washed away again. Try to remember that, as a rule, games on the beach are always about an hour later each day. That is until, of course, they go back to first thing in the morning. Do you follow? Oh, look!
I'm sorry, madam, but the enemy might not be aware that they are your girls' hockey pitches.
Well, you'd better put them elsewhere.
Madam.
Anywhere else.
Madam, there is a war on, you know.
I know there's a war on, and we intend to keep training our girls for it.
What do you expect to do if the enemy decides to land on your pitches?
I will send them in with their hockey sticks. Would you move back, my girls? Come and show you how quickly.
Can you come back a bit, please?
Hockey sticks down, and to the side, and quickly.
Move back a bit.
Hop round. Quickly. And books away. Get it in the right order, please. And let's go. Back and turn and up the steps and together and let's look away. I've got a surprise for you girls. Specs on. Hockey sticks up and turn. Get ready to put off, girls. Up to quick. Just enjoy this bit. And now we put them on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and right, left, shoot, back, left, right, salute, tartines, and hockey sticks, down, and cross. Lovely girls, and down, and our last girls Great, then off we go. Thank you, girls. See you on
David Crane, born in London but son of Pontrhydd Bendigaid, made my money in the cinema craze in London. Once was proprietor of the first super cinema in London, the Palmadium, in Palmer's Green. Well, I wanted to do something with my money, so...
The Grand Hotel, sold in 1947 to Sir David John James, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and benefactor to Borth.
So I bought this hotel and donated it to the earth as a conference centre for the young people of Wales. I called it Pantyfedwen after our home farm. I hope it was useful.
Hwyl fawr I Panty!
You see, I told you, the Cambrian may not have been a successful hotel, but it was a savin success.
It was! It was! Hurrah for the Cambrian!
Uppingham by the sea!
The hydropathic! The grand!
Pantyfedwen!
Hallelujah!
in 1979.
The train now standing at Borth Station is every train that has stopped at this station platform, carrying many, many arrivals down these many long years. Now, where's that blasted presenter woman?
Justin, can you hear me? Is it working, Justin? Is it Borth or Borth? Both. Okay. Ready?
It's an historic day in the village of Borth, and we are live at the railway station. Hopefully we'll speak to some of the new arrivals as they come off the train. Oh, here they come now. Hello, can you tell us who you are and where you've come from today?
Well, we're staying at the Hydropathic. When I came here, I was quite out of health, and 2 weeks of this beautiful air and the sea bathing, it's quite restored. Oh, the sands are splendid when they take a cart all along the sands.
Oh, can you really? What brings you to Borth this afternoon?
Oh, just the cricket.
Oh.
We're on our way back from games. Well, I was on for 50, but I knocked him out at 49.
Oh. Well, when do you play next?
Tomorrow. One look.
And who are you?
Mrs. Hemmings, dear.
And what brings you to Borth?
I'm staying here in Cambrian Terrace. I do like Borth. It's a dear little place. I enjoy myself exceedingly.
Oh, super. And who are you? What brings you to Borth?
I'm bringing the coal. They don't build heat here anymore since the train.
Oh, I see. May I just have a word with you, sir? What brings you to Borth today?
I've been fighting in Flanders. I just want to be home.
It's a long way to Tipperary. You've got your hands full, haven't you? What brings you to Borth?
Oh, we love it.
Hello, I'm just doing a show about Borth. What brings you here today?
Oh, I'm here on a geography school trip. Yes, we're staying up the road in the youth hostel. Do you know, funny enough, I was here as a schoolgirl myself about, quite a few years ago, and on a similar experience. It was lovely, but I'm in charge of the little songsters now.
Oh, how interesting, Thra, and what's your connection with Borth?
It's just that theatre thing. I don't know anything about fish or steam trains, okay?
Hello, good afternoon. What brings you to Borth today? What's your connection with Borth?
We used to come to the captain's cabin. The first disco in West Wales, wasn't it? A really good night out.
I was a bit on my head actually.
We met there.
How heartwarming.
And then we decided to retire to Borth, didn't we? And enjoy every moment. Come on.
That's a beautiful story. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm an engineer with Bam Nuttall. We're doing the sea defences.
Can you tell us more?
Sorry, Charlie Rock's coming with Norway for a load of rock for the reef. Gotta go.
Charlie Rock? Do you know what he means?
I think I made a horrible mistake. This isn't Aberystwyth, is it? I've got the wrong station. Oh dear.
Hello, boys. No need to ask why you're here.
Oh, yes, a bit of barrels.
Yeah, it's got fish wives. It's going to be amazing.
Fish barrels?
beach, actually. And she's looking forward to a run on the sand.
Caravan park.
Bring her in. Just give me a moment, I'll find out for you.
Turn left at the end of the road.
It's west, it's far away. Straight ahead. It's you to Borth.
Well, actually, my great-great-grandmother used to live in a house here on the beach. Apparently, it was named after a Borth sea captain. Was that Borth boat? Not entirely sure. But you could drop by and connect with my roots. I'm staying in Abu Dhabi, you see.
There's posh, you are.
It's usually sunnier there, though, isn't it?
Thank you.
On the Wales Coast path. We're going to walk over to Aberystwyth over the cliffs.
Oh, okay.
But first of all, there's supposed to be the stumps of a submerged ancient forest on the beach. It can be seen at low tide. So we're going to have a look at that first. And there's talk about there being a tree, a statue of a tree.
A tree? Metal tree? Justin, petrified forest? Can I just stop you for a moment, girls, and just see what you're doing in Borth today? And where are you off to, sir?
I'm really sorry, I haven't got time for this. I'm off to the beach, yeah? Sorry.
Okay. And where are you off to in such a hurry?
I'm hoping to catch the big procession for the railway. Has it begun? Have I missed it all?
I don't think so.
Good.